today's video, we're breaking down how much pet insurance really costs using real numbers and real examples so you know what to expect before you get signed up. What's up, you guys? My name's Ashley, and pet insurance is one of those things people either ignore completely or only think about after a scary vet bill. So in this video, you'll learn what actually affects the price of pet insurance, what people commonly pay month to month, and how to decide if coverage makes sense for your pet and your budget. So let's start off with getting into the basics of what pet insurance really is and what it means for you. Pet insurance is insurance that helps cover vet expenses when your pet gets sick or injured. You pay a monthly premium, and if your pet needs medical care that's covered under your policy, the insurance company reimburses you for part of that cost. Most pet insurance plans focus on accidents and illnesses, and this can include things like emergency visits, surgeries, diagnostic tests, medications, and treatment for ongoing conditions. Routine care such as vaccines or annual checkups is usually not included unless you add a wellness option. Pet insurance works differently than human health insurance. In most cases, you pay the vet up front and then submit a claim and then receive a reimbursement based on your deductible, reimbursement package, and then coverage limits. Knowing how that process works ahead of time is important so there are no surprises later on. Let's talk about what actually determines how much pet insurance costs. So pet insurance pricing is based on several factors. We've got age, which is one of the biggest ones. Younger pets typically cost less to insure because they're less likely to need expensive medical care. Breed also matters, so certain breeds are more likely to develop specific health conditions which can raise the cost. Large dog breeds often cost more to insure than smaller breeds. Location also plays a role as well. Vet care costs vary by area, and insurance pricing reflects that. If vet services are more expensive where you live, premiums are usually higher. Your plan choices also affect the price. A lower deductible and higher reimbursement percentage will raise your monthly premium. A higher deductible and lower reimbursement percentage will lower it. Now let's talk about some real numbers so you can really just kind of wrap your head around it. So for dogs, accident and illness plans for younger pets often fall around $20 to $50 per month depending on the breed, location, and coverage choices. Smaller or mixed breed dogs are usually on the lower end, while larger breeds tend to be higher. For middle-aged dogs, premiums often move closer from $40 to $70 per month, especially if you choose a lower deductible or higher reimbursement level. For older dogs, monthly costs can increase to the $60 to $100 or more range depending on health history and coverage options. At this stage, insurance is often about protecting against one major medical event rather than everyday care. Now, these are not exact prices, but they reflect what many pet owners realistically see when they're comparing plans. Now, cat insurance is usually cheaper than dog insurance, which surprises a lot of people. So for a younger cat, accident and illness coverage often falls around $10 to $30 per month. Indoor cats are usually on the lower end, while outdoor cats tend to be higher due to increased risk. Older cats' premiums can move closer to $30 to $50 per month depending on coverage levels. And because cat insurance is generally more affordable, many owners choose to enroll earlier and then keep the coverage long term. Now, let's go ahead and talk about a real life example. So this is going to be a younger dog. So let's say you have a young, healthy dog with no pre-existing conditions. A basic accident and illness plan might fall in the lower end of the monthly range. If that dog needs emergency care or surgery later, insurance can help cover a large portion of the bill after the deductible. Without insurance, the same bill would be fully out of pocket. For many people, the monthly cost feels manageable compared to the stress of an unexpected multi-$1,000 vet bill. Now we can consider an older dog. Premiums are usually higher because of the risk of medical issues increase with age. At this stage, pet insurance becomes more of a financial decision. You're weighing a higher monthly cost against the possibility of needing expensive care. Some people still choose insurance because a single emergency or surgery can easily cost $1,000 to $3,000 or more. Others choose to self-fund by saving monthly instead. Understanding the numbers helps you decide what's right for you. I wanted to touch on Lemonade because it offers a pet insurance with a focus on clear plan choices and a digital experience. Coverage is designed to help with accident and illness costs, and everything is managed through an app. With Lemonade, you choose your deductible, reimbursement percentage, and annual coverage limit. Those choices directly affect your monthly premium. For example, choosing a higher deductible usually lowers your monthly cost, while choosing a higher higher reimbursement percentage raises it. This flexibility helps you balance what you pay each month with how much coverage you want if something happens. This setup works well for people who want control over the numbers and prefer a simple app-based experience. Pet insurance versus paying out of pocket. A common question is whether pet insurance is worth it compared to just paying vet bills as they come. If your pet never needs major medical care, you might pay more in premiums than you get back. But that's true for any type of insurance. But if your pet does need emergency surgery, ongoing treatment, or repeated visits, insurance can cover a large portion of those costs and protect your savings. Now let's touch on some of the pros and cons of pet insurance. You can decide if it's worth investing in for you and your pet. So one of the biggest pros of pet insurance is predictability. Instead of worrying about a large surprise bill, you just pay a consistent monthly amount. Insurance can also make it easier to say yes to treatment when your pet needs it without making the decision purely about money. Now on the downside, pet insurance doesn't cover everything. Pre-existing conditions are usually excluded and you still have deductibles and reimbursement limits. You also pay monthly premiums whether you use that coverage or not. That's why understanding the coverage details does really matter. Okay, so now how you can get a quote. Like I said, Lemonade is such a great option, so you can click our link down in the description below. You can click check prices. You'll answer a couple questions, but Lemonade is very digital forward, so they make the process very, very seamless, which is why I love it. We also have some other recommendations for pet insurance. So here we've got, again, Lemonade is our number one choice, but we've also got ASPCA, Embrace, and then more. I would recommend getting quotes from each of them though. Take a little bit of extra time to really just determine what is going to be best for you, right? Because everyone is in a different financial position, they have a different type of pet, and they're in a different phase of life. So it's really important to figure out what's going to be best for you, which the best way to do it is go ahead and use our best pet insurance. What I would recommend is using our link down below where we have a list of our favorite pet insurance, and then you can go ahead and get quotes from each of them and see what's going to work best for you. Okay, now some bonus tips. So one helpful way to think about pet insurance is to view it as protection against financial stress, not just medical costs. The biggest benefit often isn't the reimbursement itself, but the ability to make decisions based on what's best for your pet instead of what feels affordable in the moment. When you already know what your coverage looks like, those decisions become calmer and more straightforward. Another important tip is to choose coverage based on what would actually hurt financially. If a $1,000 or $2,000 vet bill would cause stress or force you to use credit, insurance can help smooth that risk. If you have enough savings to comfortably handle those situations, you may choose a higher deductible or even self-funding instead. The goal is to match the insurance to your real financial comfort level, not an ideal scenario. It's also smart to revisit your policy as your pet ages. What made sense when your pet was 1 year old may not make sense when they're 8 or 9. Premiums change over time and your financial situation might change too. Checking in occasionally helps you decide whether to adjust coverage, increase deductibles, or keep them the same. Another tip is to pay close attention to exclusions and waiting periods. Many policies have waiting periods before certain coverage begins, and pre-existing conditions are typically excluded. Knowing this upfront helps to avoid frustration later and set realistic expectations. And finally, consider enrolling earlier rather than later if you're leaning towards insurance. Coverage is usually broader and less expensive when pets are younger and healthier. Waiting until something goes wrong often means that condition is not going to be covered anyways, which just defeats the purpose of having insurance in the first place. If you want protection against large unexpected vet bills and prefer predictable monthly costs, pet insurance can make sense for you. But if you're comfortable self-funding pet emergencies or your pet already has conditions that aren't going to be covered, insurance might not be the best fit for you. The right choice depends on your pet's age, health, and comfort level with financial risks. I know how emotional and stressful pet decisions can be, especially when money is involved and you just want to do the right thing. That's why I personally love having pet insurance, because I don't want to make that decision. I always want to choose my pet. If you want to check out any of the insurance that we have mentioned, we do have those links down in the description below. I do want to mention that these are affiliate links, which means we may earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. But if you do choose to use our links, we just want to thank you so much in advance for supporting our channel. It really helps us to continue to create free content just like this. This channel is dedicated to helping you understand insurance clearly so you can protect yourself without the confusion. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave any comments or questions below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.